Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Midnight, and more specifically we're going to talk about the Midnight pre-patch event, the Twilight Ascension event. And in this video we're going to go through everything you need to know about this event, where it happens, what are the rewards, all that good stuff. But before we jump into that, guys, I do want to give a massive thank you to all of our channel members and everyone over on the Patreon. Just start posting over there fairly regularly, and if you want to support the channel in that way, I'll leave a link down below. Right, so yes, Midnight is coming extremely soon, and Midnight pre-patch is coming even sooner. The pre-patch has been officially announced as launching on January 20th in the NA region and the 21st in the EU. However, this event does start 1 week later. So yeah, on January 27th or 28th, depending on your region, this is when the event will begin. Not sure why they're doing that week gap, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, 27th or 28th are the dates you need to remember for the Twilight Ascension event. Now, this event can be done from level 10 to 80, so yeah, you can level alts with this. Now, I don't know how good it is for leveling alts. You know, you'll kind of understand how it works in a second, but yeah, for the most part, could be quite good. Also, the Winds of Mysterious Fortune is happening at the same time, so yeah, there will be increased level rates as well, so it could potentially be a pretty good way to level alts during this event. So let's talk about the event itself. Now, to unlock it, you do need to do a short intro quest. Just on one of your characters, this quest takes you around your faction's capital, and then takes you over to the Twilight Highlands to infiltrate the Twilight's Blade, who are like kind of a new faction that have popped up, kind of siding with Xal'atath. And the event itself will take place in the Twilight Highlands, which has now been scaled to your level, which is cool. Now, doing this quest does set up a camp in the Twilight Highlands with the Void Elves for the Alliance and the Blood Elves for the Horde. And this camp is pretty handy because it has a portal to Stormwind, it has a portal to Orgrimmar, and it has a portal to Donegal to get you back and forth nice and easily to the Twilight Highlands. Obviously, you could just port there through your capital city anyway, so yeah, pretty good. And as mentioned, completing this quest line does unlock the event account-wide, so you don't need to do it multiple times. However, you can if you really enjoyed it. Now, this event does run off a brand new currency. This is the Twilight Blades Insignia. Now, good news, this currency is warbound and can be transferred across your characters with no tax or charge or anything like that. You can just transfer it freely. This is used to purchase all of the rewards and the catch-up gear which comes from the event. So there are two different things happening with this event in the Twilight Highlands. So the first one is world quests. So we actually have some brand new world quests popping up in the Twilight Highlands. At one time, there's about 4 to 5 world quests up. These do reward 10 of the brand new currency, and they also reward resonance crystals on alts if you're doing it for a second time. Not many though, unfortunately. And these do seem to rotate every couple days, so it's worth checking whether or not a new world quest has popped up in the zone. But for the most part, they're pretty basic world quests. Now, the other thing that's going on is the rare events. Now, these are small outdoor scenarios which will rotate every 10 minutes, at least as of the PTR, they were every 10 minutes. Now, the way that they work is that a rare icon will appear on the map, you head over to that area, and a bar will appear. You fill this bar by killing NPCs in that area with other people in the area, of course. And then once the bar is filled, you kill the Ritualist, which will spawn the main boss, the main rare of the area. Once that boss is defeated, the event is over and you'll get the rewards. Now, the rewards for completing one of these rare events are Valor Stones, Resonance Crystals, you get some crests, you actually get a chance of some Warbound Champion loot, which is the same from the vendor, which we'll talk about in a minute, and you do get 1 Twilight Blade Insignia. Yep, just 1. It's a little sad. Also, while doing these events, you'll see some ephemeral void orbs kind of floating around the area, which do sort of like tick down. Clicking enough of those will actually spawn an extra rare called the Voice of the Eclipse. Now, this rare does drop the exact same items as the main boss, so essentially, yeah, you're getting double the loot here. So I would imagine once this area is a little bit more populated, pretty much every rare event will spawn 2 rares, which will give you double the loot, which is kind of nice. Also, while you're doing this, you will pick up some brand new Midnight Transmog items in the form of gray items. Now, you don't want to stress too much about collecting these because these will also be obtainable in Midnight, but if you do want to go around kind of killing the NPCs and getting these gray items which have appearances from Midnight, you can do that if you want to. But as said, don't stress about it. They will also drop in Midnight, so they're not sort of time limited or anything like that. Now, those are kind of the main gameplay parts of the event. There are also 2 weekly quests which are warbound, and you can progress these across all of your characters or just kind of do them a lot quicker across more characters as well. The first one is Disrupt the Cool. This is to kill 3 Twilight Ascended rares. The reward for this quest are Valor Stones, Resonance Crystals, Rune Crest, and 40 Twilight Blades Insignia. The other quest is the Twilight's Dawn. This is to complete 8 world quests or defeat 8 Twilight Ascended rares. Now, as mentioned, there are 4 to 5 world quests up at one time. However, you can do this on alts if you want to do it a lot faster, which is great. But for the most part, if you just have one character, you will be able to complete this in a week very easily. The reward for this are Valor Stones, Resonance Crystals, and 40 Twilight Blade Insignias once again. So from just the weekly quest, you are going to get 80, and then you're going to get 1 or 2 per rare event, and then 10 per world quest. So yeah, you're going to be quite inundated with this currency because you're going to need it, because there are quite a few rewards being added to this event. So let's go through the vendor here. So you have the Arsenal Weathered Twilight Hammers Armament. These are just a bunch of Twilight Blades transmog weapons, which are pretty cool. Tons of those inside this arsenal. That's going to set you back 40 Twilight Insignias. You also have the Ensemble Well-Worn Twilight Cultist Attire. This is, yeah, the original sort of Twilight Hammer appearance. Remember that from like Silithus? They've made a new one, and this is going to be available for 40 of the Twilight Insignias. You also have some decor, of course, for player housing. So you have the Silvermoon Wooden Chair for 50, the Enchanted Blood Elven Candelabra for 50, and the Cindereye Winged Chaise for 75, which does sound very expensive, and I'm not actually sure if these are going to be available after the event. You would imagine they are going to put them on a vendor somewhere, but as of the event, yeah, they're pretty expensive. So if you want to get multiple of these, you're going to be doing a lot of this event. There's also a mount. You have the Restrained Skyrazor mount. This is a recolor of some of the mounts we saw in Season 1 of The War Within, and that is going to set you back 100 Twilight Blades Insignias. There's also a couple of pets. You have the Scruff Pet for 30, the Emerald Spore Bit for 30, and Radar for 30 as well. You also have a brand new toy called the Twilight Blades Top Secret Strategy Training Guide toy, which does cost 30 Twilight Blades Insignias. This is actually just like a tic-tac-toe toy. A little bit more about that in a second, as there is an achievement link to it. But yeah, this is a cool like mini game they've added into this pre-patch event. There's also another vendor which does sell Warbound Champion gear. So this is your catch-up gear here. This is a recolor of the Kaz Algar dungeon sets. They sell armor, rings, necklaces, cloaks, and weapons. And each piece, as of right now, is 40 Twilight Blades Insignia. But as mentioned, this gear does also drop from the rares, so don't go rushing to buy this, as obviously it will just naturally drop from all of the rares, from the rare events that are happening constantly in the Twilight Highlands. Now, there are also a couple of achievements being added. You have the achievement 2 minutes to midnight. This is to defeat each of the bosses being summoned by the Twilight Blades in the Twilight Highlands. Now, there are quite a lot of rares here, but as said, it does rotate every 10 minutes, so it shouldn't be too bad. The reward for this is a brand new mount called the Lightforged Mech Suit mount, and you also get a brand new title called Thorn of Twilight. The other achievement is Crunching for Cultists, and the description of this is to win the Twilight Blade Stratagem game in the Twilight Ascension base camp. So this is the tic-tac-toe game. You have to win this 50 times. Now, if you don't have the toy, you can just use the game object that is at the Twilight Ascended base camp, but once you purchase the toy, you can do it on the go if you want, but you do need to win it 50 times to complete this achievement. So I hope you like playing tic-tac-toe, because you're going to be doing it quite a lot, but it is quite fun. But yeah, 50 times is a lot, but if you want all the achievements, then that's how you're going to do it. So yeah, that's it. That is the Midnight pre-patch event. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Twilight Ascension event. I don't really mind it too much. It's nice to see world quests being added this time, and obviously that champion gear is going to be good for some characters, not all characters obviously. Champion gear is quite, you know, a little bit low. There doesn't seem to be any way, as of that I could see, to get any hero track gear from this. Potentially Blizzard might change it once, you know, sort of people get their hands on it on January 27th and 28th. So please do leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And also I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Midnight Beta, any sort of WoW, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.